And we are live. First one of 2025. Like, Wolf Moon, what's up, world? Well, I am just like, hot as hell. As my mother would say, it's hot as Hades. Here in Africa, we're having a boosting hot day. So I'm just like gathering my millions of water bottles here. And also as well, sorry for the day. I don't like being late. I'm British. And I was actually 2 minutes late because YouTube wouldn't let me go live. That was a bit of a panic. But anyway, here we are. And I am really, really excited to be on this live on the Wolf Moon and sharing all of the magic, because it's been a wild time and I've been sharing a lot of videos on my channel here, energy updates and things like that, but it hasn't been as interactive as like getting back into the lives and things like that. So this is a very powerful day. Like I say to many of you, because a lot of you are in the States and other places, even the UK, I am your friend from the future. I'm towards the end of my day now. And I tell you what, it's been an amazing, amazing portal day. It feels like a portal day, which it kind of is, because it's the full moon. And I know many of you out there, like me, connect very, very deeply with the wolf medicine. Okay. It's a case of like, who doesn't? Because we've all been Native American or and as you can see, my wolfie there, so some of the wolf is our power animals and all sorts of things. So there's no one, I think, in the world that doesn't connect with wolf, right? So we have a very, very powerful kind of like ceremony, I suppose, but like I have Gospel of Marie, what the Wolf Moon means to me, and I hope that it resonates with you. But before I begin, I would like to just share a few announcements with you, because Marie's changing things up a little bit. And today, some of you saw for the first time ever, I've actually released a podcast called Tea with Marie. Let me tell you, Tea with Marie was birthed 4 years ago, ridiculous amount of time. And I've been sitting on it for that long. Do you know what I mean? So Tea with Marie spills the tea on what's going on in her world, the Gospel of Me. So that's kind of been released. Now, those podcasts are going to be, they're not videos. I much prefer to kick back and relax, different energy. Don't need to be flying through it. It's like plug your earphones in and go with it. And the first video I've released is actually on addiction and ADHD. And, is it not a superpower? Things to ponder. So this is the difference in energy with my podcast. So I'm so excited to launch that today. Second of all, there is a newsletter, which I'm really usually quite slack on, but I want to share with you guys because all of my discounted offerings will be in the newsletter every month. I am toying with 2 a month, but like there will be definitely one which will give you some discounts on the Heka codes, and all of the offers, if you're going to get any good deal, is going to be in those emails because you're going to be quoting codes. So get on the email because I'm getting you on there for good reason. ... Right. And then, of course, we have the Tablets of Light. Tablets of Light Avalon is happening in August for Lionsgate Portal. And of course, we have the Tablets of Light happening in May, and that's thundering forward, along with a announcement that's going to come, which is a Sekhmet tour in November. So big things happening this year, coasting the airwaves. So as always, I always start with a little bit of an energy update, right? Just to kind of like bring us into this space. And, let's talk about that, about creation and everything like that. Hello, Lee. How are you, my darling? Hello, Kelly. Happy Wolf Moon. So let's talk about that. So let's not get it twisted, because every single year we've come to this like January and we've got there and we've gone, oh my God, it's just the same old shit. It's not the same old shit. We have definitely timeline jumped. We are now in the new timeline. We can all feel it. There is significant changes going on. We are in the middle of melting away old belief systems that doesn't serve us anymore. That is what's stimulating that feeling of the dark night of the soul in your body, which is what this Wolf Moon ceremony that I'm going to share with you today is kind of all about, right? So it's a dark night of the soul, is kind of blinkers on, don't know what's going on, stuck in the we're really believing our story, it's horrible, but we keep going anyway. It's kind of like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. This is different. You may be feeling like shit still, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and there is a clicking over into a deep sense of faith. I'm telling you now, whether you deny it or not, it's there. It's there. You are going to start to feel more and more safe in your being as we move through the next month or 2, 3 months. Now, with that, just to bring a reminder on this, and I will do an energy update on it. just to remember, okay, it's probably going to speed up in the new Earth timeline now, but when you go through a massive aha moment and then things come online, you're like, oh my God, like I had this big spiritual shift that happened. Remember that there's always a lag. I say a lag, or maybe time to travel into the physical reality to actually see the physical manifestation of that aha moment. So we go through these massive boom clack moments where you're like, oh my God, that belief system, I didn't believe that. What am I thinking? And then all of a sudden you're sat there and you're like, well, life's still the same, thinking it's going to be an immediate shift. It's not. It takes time for the energy within your being to send that resonance out, takes time for it to move into the physical world, for it to build and show you something that represents that shift that you've had inside. So it used to be 6 months. You'll probably find that it's halved now. I'm kind of feeling it's like 3 months. So with that being said, we've all had a very, very big, deep, immersive entry from 2024 into 2025. I mean, let's keep it super real. It's been next level. And then now what we're actually experiencing is kind of like coming out the other side. And I believe, Gospel of Marie, that we're going to be spending this first few months, meaning January to like maybe about May, of like kind of integrating and coming into a lot slower space to receive and let everything land fully. Now, remember, you're a newborn babe. You're not like, you're not incapable because of that new babe syndrome kind of thing. You're very capable, but you have been reborn. So give yourself chance to get your senses to come online. Don't be rushing and pushing anything, because remember, we're in the divine feminine. And again, that's what today's session is all about. It's about the divine feminine. So, like, let go or be dragged. Basically, that's where we're at right now. Okay. So, hello, I've got Ali and Danny here. Greetings. I'm assuming that they are still in Costa Rica. So Costa Rica, Peru, we've got everybody here. So now I'm going to move into a little bit of a meditation and a breath work. My glasses are actually steaming up. It's so flipping hot in here. Anyway, Sekhmet's fire is burning through me. I tell you what, I might just get naked on screen and then get loads more followers. Or not, you might all log off. Anyway, let's bring us all into a kind of like more grounded space and kind of come into our being. So I just encourage you and call you into the space now, closing your eyes, taking a nice big deep breath and a big exhale. Just let it go. And another big deep breath now. Inhale and exhale. And another one like that from the depths of the belly, man. Bring it all the way in. Full expansion of the lungs. Full. Hold it at the top there. And exhale. And just let everything just settle, petal. Now, some of you have woken up on a day. Some of you are like me at the end of the day. The magic and energy around is sublime right now. And we are being gifted so much with this beautiful full moon. So we call in the full moon energies as we feel Grandmother Moon move closer to us. Like she's like just emanating and showering and kind of like saturating our beings with all of her beautiful moonlight, which is bringing a very, very relaxing, calming, nurturing feeling of being held by all the mothers, actually. And just allow like the moonlight to it's like iridescent, just soothing your whole energy field. And even though the energy is so powerful and high today, it's got a deeply sublime, divine feminine feel to it, where you can feel it deeply, but there's no need to rush. There's no need to do. Everything is at peace in the world. And I've just been shown an image of like lying in a hammock, piece of straw out your mouth, sun hat, like a cowboy pulled over your nose, and you're just chilling in the sun. And that's the energy and the feeling that the new moon or the full moon is bringing. Even though it's a full moon, and full moons are can be quite intense, this is quite the opposite. And it's almost like you've arrived. You've arrived. You made that powerful push through and you got to the other side. And now there is nothing for you to know. It's almost like you've stepped onto that brand new land out of the beautiful crystalline waters, and you now got your feet in the beautiful white sand and abundantly filled with fruit and just, good things on this beautiful space where you've landed, this new world The sky is blue. The fruits and the trees, everything is abundant. Everything you need is here. And there's almost like, made it. Because you have. You have. So now allowing the breath, I want you to just slowly breathe now in through the nose into the root chakra. Inhale. Allow that breath as if it was like a bubble of air moving all the way up your spine, up your central power channel. As you inhale and you hold at the crown, slowly exhale and just release. And then bringing your focus to the root chakra again. Inhale. You may wish to let out a sigh. And on these next two breaths, anything that doesn't belong, that you don't need, inhale. And exhale. One more, inhale. Placing your hands on your heart and just release that last breath. Now taking your hands and placing them down by your root, somewhere I would probably say around your sacral chakra. And allow your feet to be firmly anchored on the floor. And just feeling your root now coming from the sacral, exiting out of your body. This is an energetic cord, and you allow it to burrow its way all the way through the sand, the soil. Allow it to just move its way. It's instinctual. It's just instinctual. It's instinctual where it finds its mother. You find mother, Gaia. And you feel that cord burrowing deeper and deeper and deeper into the earth. Through the crystals, through the molten lava, until you are greeted by Mother Gaia, who stands in her physical form in these beautiful flowing long green, blue, white dress, a beautiful white blonde hair flowing in the wind, electric blue eyes, and a heart resonance bigger than you've ever known. And she is holding your cord. And as she holds your cord, just like out of Avatar, she places it on her heart and then into her heart. And you just feel that deep connection to her. All is well in your life. It always was. Now feeling yourself very grounded in your space, very much in your body now, very much in the peaceful state. Take a nice big deep breath in. Exhale. And then when you're ready, come back into the space. So that was rather lovely, wasn't it? So let me just pause for a gin and tonic. It's not, it's ice cold water. I might as well just pour it over my head. Look at me, I'm sweating here. Okay. So that breath work, or rather that meditation, has brought us right into where we are going to be kind of like working towards this whole session is to be like our deepest connection with Gaia, basically. Can't get my words out today. Okay, so what is this full moon all about? Look, it's about many things. And it depends, I suppose, where you're vibrating at. But for me, I have been writing a lot about this as well, that it's all about, because it's a Cancer moon as well. I have a lot of Cancer in my chart, and I really, really feel the moons like exponentially so. And they can hinder or they can heal. Today is a good day. But I really, really feel these moons. But I think we're all connected in one way or another. And I think as it's a Cancerian moon, it's all about self-care. It's all about nurturing oneself. It's all about pleasing yourself before you please others. I say yes to me before I say yes to you. Whereas before it used to be yes to you and then I'll sort myself out. Like that can't happen anymore. Do you know what I mean? That is why we've come into the beginning of this year. And it's kind of like we've raced going, right, go time. And it's like a hurry up and wait, but it's not really hurry up and wait. It's just come into the space now and rest, rejuvenate, restore, gather, reflect. Do you know what I mean? And that not to say that we're slowing down and we got to do more work. Absolutely not. You've just run a marathon. So just take a couple of days at least just to kind of like rejuvenate the body and the cells. And then you can get your strong footing and really then work way less hard because we've really moved into the era of the divine feminine. This is the soft era. I spoke about this when I went to Egypt and the last trip when me and Waleed were hanging out. We went to Temple Mut and Temple Mut, 730 Sekhmet statues, obviously not standing anymore, but they were. And the energy there was a lot softer. And a good friend of mine actually posted on the thing and said, oh, this is the soft era. And I like that. And I've used that ever since. So we are in our soft era. Doesn't mean that everything's man-be, plan-be, and it lacks the velocity and the full-on force of the divine masculine. Let me tell you, the divine feminine is way more powerful than that. But when the divine feminine and masculine combine and they are balanced, it's like it's on like popcorn. Do you know what I mean? And that's what we've been working towards. We've been working towards this point of completion. So, of course, we've moved into this wolf moon and now we're all just taking a beat and a breath. And we're encouraged to actually just do things differently as well, because we can't take the old programs of last year and bring them into here, which is a lot of us that is struggling with that. A lot of people are saying, well, everything I planned last year for 2025, it's all gone to a ball of chalk. I know it has in my life. Redirection or absolute collapse, disaster? No, absolutely. It's a redirection because I thought of those ideas in the old timeline. This is a game changer. So that was the gospel of Marie, the way I thought things were going to be. Spirit will always give you a better version. So let her, divine feminine, decide. Let her lead you and let yourself be shown. But if you're too busy rushing forward and making decisions and forcing, you are really going to be blocking off the very, very fine ripples of her energy, which are actually, if you're still enough, is very, very powerful. So this is now about doing less, receiving more, and literally letting it swim up to your lap and land there. Okay. If it's taking any more work than that, it's not for you. You're running an old program, right? Yes, there is an aspect that we do have to kind of take action for certain things. Yes, 100%. But we haven't got to be doing it all the time like we were before. This is about really sensing the divine feminine and just allowing that to come to you, right? So that's very, very important. So when we have that happen, safety and support and oneness, because that's the deep faith. I did a video recently about a belief versus faith. And that's exactly what the divine feminine is. It's the I am presence. Okay. The I am, it is what it is. It's like we're part of the whole. There are no other answers because there's no questions. And it's the oneness wisdom. Okay. It's just being in that real sweet spot of just peacefulness and harmoniousness. And that is where our creations come online. If you're pushing your belief up the hill going, come on, I'm believing in this. Every moon, every portal I have, I'm going to believe in this at my altar. It's not going to happen. Do you know what I mean? But when you're in that sweet spot, it means that you've released it, you've surrendered, and you've allowed it to go. You're handing it over to Mother Nature, the natural cyclical ebbs and flows. That's what we've been working towards. And now all of a sudden, we're naturally starting to do it. So it's a beautiful thing. So then also another thing as well, which is very, very human. Throughout this process, you may find, if not doing it already, that you are moving very, very toxic people, places, and situations out of your space. So, it's not always a you thing. It could be a them thing. And you know what? If it's not vibing, then take note of that. You don't need to know about the if, buts, and whys. You don't even have to explain it to anyone. You just got to say to myself, this is what I say, how does that feel for me? Doesn't feel nice. So move away. If I gave you chili hot food and you don't like hot food, you're just going to spit it out and go, don't give that to me again. And then job done. You'll never eat chili food. Isn't your life happier than chowing on a chili every single day and you hate it? Do you know what I'm saying? So it really, really, and my husband brought something up the other day where I was actually working on a creation and I'm just, it's just not been vibing. And he said, why would you stay in a relationship when you're being beaten up every day? Why would you stay there? I actually did that for about 2 years once, but like, whatever. I didn't stay there forever, but that's the whole thing. Is it supporting me or is it taking me out? So this is what this moon is all about, right? So what happens when you're with your tribe? Okay, what is it all about? I have said before, and I'm going to say it again, that the tribe, so stay with me here because it's very wolf orientated, because we're talking about packs, running with the wolves, your lion pride, your family, your community, your tribe, all of the things, right? So what happens is when you come together with your tribe, look, we've been too scared, we're too flipping traumatized to step out of our dark corners to actually even think about coming together until now, because we've been taken out so many times. So have some compassion for your process, okay? Because very few of us were able to be out there, live large lives, because there is so much karma that we had to clear up, right? But now what's happened with this massive shift, we know that as soon as we find our tribe and as soon as we allow ourselves to enter in or allow them to come closer to us, Batman sign in the sky, how did you think I found you lot? Do you know what I mean? I've been like, Batman sign in the sky, every video. And then all of a sudden you all came. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it works. Don't laugh. It does work. So Batman sign in the sky, get it up there, shine that fucking light as much as you can. And then your vibe goes out there. And everything's frequency and vibration, man. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to join apps or things like that. Just put your Batman sign in the sky and people will come, right? So when those people come and you basically feel yourself kind of immersed in your tribe, what happens on an energetic level is your encodements unlock, because it's like, okay, girls, I'm going to use this with the animals in the wild, especially Africa. If you see the kudu or the African gazelles or anything like that, as soon as one gives birth, there's a chain reaction. They all give birth, right? There is an internal divine feminine synchronistic thing that happens when your tribe comes together. So here I am, I'm a gazelle, I'm hanging out with my chicks, you know what I mean? Some of the guys there, but they're my crew. We move around the African plains all the time. These are my crew, these are my family. And then, oh, she's just dropped her baby. Oh shit, so have I. Do you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, because it's safety, because that's why that happens. It's absolutely incredible, right? So the same thing happens to us. Guys, you're not going to have a baby. I'm explaining this wrong, but you know what I'm saying? So what happens is as we get with our tribe, and they really are our tribe, not ones that are still giving us lessons. Tribe is like effortless, easeful. You love them, you value them, you support them, but they do you as well. There's just this natural feeling. So imagine if you felt like that all the time, you just your barriers are going to fall down because you don't need to be protected, because you can feel the energy of that support. And then what happens is your blueprint starts to unlock. So I've always said, instead of doing all this hard work, just get with your tribe, man. As soon as you get with your community, you are held, and you energetically you sense that, and then things just start to unlock, because that person you're talking to that is your tribe member is frequencying. Is it a word? I don't know. It's frequencying between you and them, and it's all going on. And there's a conversation going on beyond the words, okay, through the chakras. And you're reading them and they're reading you, and they're going, oh, yeah, we preordained this. Okay, cool. So I can drop this now. I can birth this into the world now. Yeah, okay, great. It takes a village. What do we always say? It takes a village to create, to look after a child or to bring up a child. It's the same thing. A child is a creation is a child. Do you know what you know what I'm saying? So that is why tribe is so important. And now we're finally feeling ready to do that, to be immersed in the tribe. Okay. So if there are things in your way, things you just don't want to do, Mother Mary always says, if it doesn't feel like joy, bin it. I mean, those weren't her exact words, but she said it in her Mother Mary way. If it doesn't feel like joy, let it go. Okay. So just wipe it off the table. And then that will bring space to your next tribe member to come in. Right. So be really vigilant about who you're vibing with. And just to add to that as well, when we get to this point, we really don't need to be putting up all of this protection. I know many of us are like, protect for this and protect for that, or shield and block. Because at the end of the day, what are you protecting yourself from? Your own consciousness? Because if you do truly believe that you are the I am presence and we're all part of it all, what are you protecting yourself from? Listen, there's a balance in everything. I am not going to take me or you into a dark temple in Egypt and just go, hey, let go and let God. I'm going to protect us like a mofo, because there are dark energies in there as well as light. And all that's going to happen is we'll get an attachment, you'll get a tummy bug, you'll have to purge it after a day. It's just a pain in the ass. But nothing's going to happen to you. It's just that you've picked up something that's like stuck on your shoe. That's all. But as far as you being endangered and not safe, when you put these things around you, like maybe protecting your bubble to contain your energy field rather than keep that thing away and that thing away. We don't want to be doing that. Now that brings me back to the wolf medicine even more so now, because the wolf pack and the wolf wisdom is all about protection. They have each other's back. Think about wolf pack. Get off this call. Go and watch some wolves on, I would say about the Lion Pride, go and observe them in the wild. Each one of them has a job. They have each other's back. They're mate for life. And there is this synchronistic energy. It just works. Their pack works. And if you're a dickhead, then they kick you out. Same as the Lion Pride. It's how it goes. Do you know what I mean? So we're not too far away from nature. There's much we can draw from this, right? So that is what I believe the Wolf Moon is all about. Self-care, which at the end of the day, kicking stuff out of your space that doesn't serve you and that you just don't want to do is self-care. You're going to start choosing for yourself a lot better now. And you're going to start to let go and lean into the divine feminine and let her lead, which is another version of self-care. And you're going to let your tribe come in and support you and love you and say, yay, for that creation, not try and steal it off you or backstab you or, I don't know, just come at you with some jealousy, whatever. That's 2024, man. That's so last season. It's done. It's done. Okay. So let me just take a breath and a beat. Everybody okay here? Because I'm kind of like flying today. I mean, I always am, aren't I? Okay, I'm just going to pause and say hello to everybody. I'm so happy that you guys at the Dream Team's coming back together. And I'm so happy that all of you have managed to join it, even for those that aren't commenting and even for those that will watch this down the line. Thank you for coming here and us being in community on this special day. Okay, so now moving on, right? How expanding now to receive. Okay, I want to share something with you, right? We are going to be doing a very powerful shamanic journey today. It's such a shame I can't drum because it won't sound nicely through the screen. But one day we'll be together in person. I know we will, and I'll be doing a really, really big drumming ceremony, and you'll all be in there. I'm pretty sure. Life goals. That's what's going to happen. Okay, so now I want to. This is all just like how you're going to move forward beyond the Wolf Moon, because we're going to let go of a lot of shit today, a lot of stuff that you don't need, and most of it is sitting in our belief systems, if not all of it. So we're gonna treat today as a very, very big clear out, being held by the Wolf Wisdom, the Grandmother Moon, by Gaia, by the Ankh. I'm actually going to chuck a bit of Egypt in here as well. Well, I'm told you it's going to be a bit of a plot twist, but this is what we're going to do. So we are really kind of like reminding ourselves, because we're not learning anything new, on how we're going to function, how we're going to move forward in this new Earth timeline. And there's certain things that we don't need to do anymore, and there's certain things you have to consciously let go of, and certain things you've got to consciously bring in, right? And now it's not about doing, because we're in the divine feminine. Put it this way, you can do, but you're just going to get an ass kicking for it. So rather just find the balance between the divine masculine, divine feminine, let go, let God, as I said. And then what's going to happen is like, you're just going to find it so much easier to manifest, because what we're going to work with now is our power and our energy and our presence because like basically they're on another realm. There is everything that's meant for you. In fact, it's right around you, but you have to vibrate at the same vibration to be able to see it on your table. So if I say to you, right, okay, there's a pen there, you say, I can't see that pen. There's a pen there. It's right there. You can't see it. It's because your vibration is not matching that pen, so you can't see it. Have you ever had it where you've gone to find something on your desk and you go to grab your pen and you're like, it was there a minute ago, and you're like, God damn it. And you're looking for it everywhere. And then you go look back on your desk and it's there. Do you know what that's about? That is timeline jumpings. You know what I mean? What happens is I call it the Minutemen, they take it away for a minute. But what actually truthfully happens, that is a true indication that you are jumping between dimensions. So for that moment when you couldn't see the pen, you went to a different dimension. Then you came back in, different vibration, different realm. You were able to see the pen, pick it up, right? There was actually a pen there. So you see what I'm saying? So that is happening all the time. But we just put it off to like the deja vus, the Minutemen and all that. We just run it off. But it's like, no, that's what's happening. You are dimension hopping, right? So now I want to share with you something that my friend Iridessa shared with me, and I just blew my socks off. And I'm just going to read it because it speaks volumes. So since the tapestry of all time has been woven, everything I could ever want to happen in my life already exists in that infinite, non-physical plane. My only task is to expand my earthly self enough to let it into this realm. So if there is something I desire, the idea isn't to go out and get it, but to expand my own consciousness, to allow universal energy to bring it into my reality here. Right? The way you're going to find your tribe is exactly the same way, because in your reality, you've been too scared. So everything's been minimalistic, right? And you're like, I'm so lonely, no one's here. Little did we know we're running programs going, not safe, stranger danger, right? Now what's happening is like, hey, kind of feel okay since I've gone through this new moon time or new Earth timeline. And then you're feeling like you're really coming into your faith and your trust now, right? And that is game changing it, because your perception is you're changing now. Your whole mental body, the principle of mentalism, everything's changing. And you're now starting to believe that, hey, I think I might be part of the all I am. I think I might be that. And then you start to let go of all this bullshit, right? And then you can see, take the glasses off, you can actually see that, oh, there's my tribe members. And then they come in. So you really, through perception, is going to allow you to step into something else. So it's not a doing thing. You can go and move to another country, a different hood, because you're like, people aren't friendly here. Whatever, it doesn't matter. You're still going to come up with the same thing, right? So it's about inner work now, knowing yourself as an alchemist, a master. You are a very powerful alchemist. Manipulate it, change it like an airbender. Play with it. Yeah, I don't want that. This is what I want to do. And you do it by expanding your realms. Now, I'm going to be in the temple meet this month. I'm going to be teaching all about magic this month. Awen, Heka, the Ankh technology, and how to work with all of this, but more importantly, how to change it in your everyday life. Simplistic stuff that I guarantee you've overlooked and gone, oh, well, shit, that's easy. Aren't we always being told how easy it is? And I'm having a penny drop moment myself. So we're going to be working with symbols this month and everything like that, and really bringing your superpowers online, because now you're supported. The energy shift has indeed come through. And here we are on this full moon, and it's now time to blow all of the stuff which is nothing to do with what I'm talking about out the way. Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? I'll wait. Everybody's typing. Okay. So I'm now, amen. Thank you, Vanessa. Yes, Debbie. Woo, feel like I'm holding church now. You know what I mean? Not in a religious way. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about symbols. Now, Vanessa, you will understand, because Vanessa lives here like me. I went to Cape Point. Now, Cape Point is the most southern tip of South Africa, right? Now, I don't know. I went there on the 11th. That day was very, very high. I'm not an astrologer, but I know it was to do with the node, ... You've explained it to me, many of you have, and it was a node day, and I know it was very, very powerful manifestation. So me and my husband went to the southern tip of Africa, drove all the way there, very kind of like, big landscapes and everything like that. Not very exciting, but we ended up falling into a museum that wasn't there before, okay? And it was all about the Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens are humans, the very first inhabitants on the planet. You are all African. Here we are, bringing in Africa love now. I knew this anyway, but every single one of us started as an African. That was the first human expression that you came in as, right? The Anunnaki had their first gold mine on the Zambezi River in Zimbabwe. Hey, it's very galactic over here in Africa, very galactic indeed, which is why so many of you come over here and start bursting into tears, because you're like, what is going on? There's a deep remembrance that happens when you come to the motherland. Okay, this is the motherland. So of course Egypt is in there, because that's the highest tip of Africa. So anyway, I go back to this museum. So I go in there and I was like, blow me down. They had videos and earphones and everything like that. And they were all talking about how we have divorced ourselves from nature, and all we need to do is come back to her. Showed me exploding volcanoes and things like that, and exploding like water things out the earth. And I was like, she's so powerful. And all of a sudden, all the white noise just went. The tours, marketing, expression, purpose. I was like, that's my purpose. I said to my husband, that's my purpose. And he's like, what? And I was like, to get back to Gaia. Once I'm there, everything makes sense. And we've all divorced ourselves from it. And it's like, how can we do this without being there? Like these Homo sapiens, which were essentially Africans, were all feeding off the land. They were so connected, like they were absolutely on point. And did you know, when they left Cape Point, that was the last point that they left before they went out to the rest of the world. Okay. And then started to express themselves. And that's how other cultures came around, right? So in this story, there's a tablets of light thing, but I'm still it and deep diving into it. But anyway, talking about going back to the origin source codes. Now, one of these videos in this museum, very powerful, is talking about symbols. This really old guy who must have been 95 years old in the shade. I was like, he's not spiritual, but he's talking to me. And he was basically saying that symbols are everything. And he showed, say me sat here, flicked me into being an Indian with my bindi spot, flicked me being into Aboriginally with all my Viking. And he just showed many, many different expressions of this woman. Now, what symbols are all about is your identification, how you express yourself in the world. But here, let's rewind. It is still the same star seedy you that is here in the now, connecting as above, so below, all the things, right? So, like, that's what he was saying. So, symbols are a very, very important, if not essential, part of the human experience. And I started to think about the Ankh, and I started about thinking about Heka and the Auen symbol that looks like that. I was just like, right, okay, so symbols are tattoos, symbols are glasses, symbols Marie's blonde hair, symbol is my accent. So I start to see how symbology started to play out a very, very powerful part of who we are. And one of the reason I'm sharing this with you is because you have the power. You put those symbols in place that created all of this magic. It created that ancient one that you believe knew everything and you don't think you know that much. You do, because you created it. You're the same person. Do you know what I mean? So all of this is like really relevant. And what I would like to bring this Wolf New Moon, through, because that's also about tribes in Africa. That's why they were so successful in their living. They only became not so great is when they were disbanded, like the Native Americans and all that kind of thing. So they are showing us how powerful tribe is. You want to get it done? Find your tribe. Start kind of like, seeking, as in like sending the energy out, and start to be with your family, your tribe. Essentially, I'm one of your tribe because we vibe here. Do you know what I mean? So this is really, really important. So symbols are very, very essential of this class today, because we're going to be working with the Ankh. Now, some of you have indeed done the Ankh technology. Some of you have, some of you haven't. But we're going to do a short meditation now, which is going to like bring it in anyway. So, because when we do our final meditation, our final journey, it's going to be with the wolf medicine, and this is going to feature in that, right? So the Ankh. And this is the Gospel of Marie. So you won't find this in textbooks. This is what happens when Marie has meditations. She gets all sorts of funky messages, which actually work. Okay. So this is the Ankh. Okay. We know it's the key of life. We know that this here represents the universe, this big circle here, universe, right? Crossing as above, so below. This is the grounding factor. This is you. Imagine you like that, right? Okay. So the Ankh means many, many, many different things. And it's a very, very powerful symbol. Now, this to me is in the divine masculine state, upright. Okay. Turn it around and we have the divine feminine. So now we have the womb. And now there's us, and then we connect up. So we're receiving. So in a way, this is like locking it in. And this is receiving. Now I'm going off on an Egypt tangent now. Now, 10 years ago, I went to the Great Pyramid, and basically I was one of 7 that went into the subterranean chamber, which is actually the womb of Gaia. This is why I always spend so much time in the subterranean chamber. Everybody goes to the king's chamber above thinking that's the one because it's got the sarcophagus in it. I've never felt like that. I've always felt the subterranean chamber, which is the one that goes underground, is more significant than all of them. And it is, because it's the entry to the halls of Amenti, and it's the womb of Gaia, as well as many other things, but keeping in alignment with this group. Let's talk about the feminine aspect of it. So there we were in the subterranean chamber, and our job as 7 people of 40 people, we were all scattered over the pyramid. We were the ones to chant and anchor that big, like holographic Ankh into the womb of Gaia and lock it down. So it stayed for 10 years in that state. Now, I have just recently been to Egypt, not this time, the one before in May, where I took the group. The instruction from Thoth was like, in the Great Pyramid, you and your group are now going to turn that Ankh that you put in 10 years ago, and you're going to do it that way. Because now the receiver and transmitter, which is the pyramid, is going to now receive the divine feminine codes, which is deeply ingrained in the Great Sphinx as well. So this is what we're going to do. This is the importance and the power of this symbol when you want to receive divine feminine energy. Now, the first group I took, we were very up against it with the guards. So sometimes you can't always meditate in the temple. So I had to kind of like channel a technology. So what we would do is, if they were shouting at us for meditating, we just basically link our little fingers with each other. And I would say Ankhs up, and each Ankh in each chakra, we would simultaneously turn like that. We would download the codes of the temple of what we needed to do. Our eyes were still open. You feel the energy coming in so strong. And then when we were ready, we would lock it in. And that would be the divine feminine, divine masculine locked in the codes that have come in, boof, got it, right? So that's what we're going to do now in this meditation. Some of you have probably done it on the stuff that I shared a long time ago, but we're going to go into it now and we're going to feel that energy in our beings, right? And feel free to have your pen and your notepad there because you might get a bit of a download on something. You can play with this as well. It's really, really simple. Use this meditation or this way of working with this Ankh technology if you are at a sacred site or you are somewhere where you can't be seen to be channeling or whatever. It's very, very powerful. You could leave the Ankhs open when you sleep, wake up in the morning, lock them in. There's so many different ways that you can use the Ankh technology and be guided by that and trust what comes through to you. I'm just giving you the entry point to it. So with that being said, let's go in and let's do a little bit of Ankh technology. All right. So taking a nice big deep breath, just take some nice deep breaths while I wipe my forehead down because I'm sweating so much in this room. It's so hot here today, but I've said that a million times. Okay. So as you breathe in, I always do the 3 power breaths at the beginning to power breath out any residual. So those 3 breaths are really good to just bring the consciousness back in, even if you're not meditating. So those nice, big, deep power breaths, breathing in and then power breath, release. And you'll feel after you've completed 3 of them, it all just settles, kind of shifts your energy just a little bit. And you may feel that you want to place your hands on your belly, or you may want to rest your hands facing up to the sky. It matters not, but make sure both feet are on the floor. And now I want you to connect with your central power channel, which is indeed the chakra system. That's the central power channel, the prana tube. Other people know it as the prana tube. But first of all, I want you to take some deep, deep breaths into your earth star chakra, which is a foot or 2 beneath your feet in the earth. Now, that earth star chakra is a beautiful greeny, reddy brown. And it is there to keep you anchored. It's got your whole mission and purpose programmed into that Earth Star chakra. It is the Earth Star chakra that ignites you to go somewhere. Because at the right time, it'll say, right, we need to go there. And you're like, oh, all of a sudden you're interested in Egypt or Peru or wherever. Do you know what I mean? But your guidance system is in that Earth Star chakra. So I want you to breathe into the earth because that is where your entry point to Gaia's heart is. So the Earth Star chakra is very grounding, more so than the root chakra. So breathe into that beneath your feet. Feel your whole system, your whole pranic tube, anchor into that Earth Star chakra. Acknowledge it. Know it's there and thank it because it's part of you. And now as you breathe in, allow yourself to now come to the root chakra. And breathing a beautiful ruby red color, feeling the connection to your hips, maybe moving your hips around a little bit, breathing in the red. This is really, really kind of like a double anchor here. And this root chakra is deeply connected to your being here. Party is in the body. This is your anchor. So breathing in that beautiful red, ruby red color, spinning that chakra as fast as you can. And then breathing again, moving quite swiftly up to the sacral chakra. This is your divine feminine and masculine balance. This is your center of creativity. Very much of a female chakra, even if you're a man. This, we would work with our wombs and the men would work with their sacral chakras. Spin that beautiful orange chakra and feel it like wake up, And then breathing up now, taking that beautiful energy all the way up to the solar plexus, Sekhmet's chakra as well. Yellow, like beautiful color, like a buttercup, like butter itself. Breathing into that center of will and spinning that chakra. And then taking the breath now a little higher, moving into the heart, beautiful green color, emerald. Unconditional love, compassion, all of the things. Love itself. And then allowing yourself to naturally flow up now to the throat chakra. Blue, Mother Mary, Archangel Michael. This is where we welcome change in from the world. It's where we speak our truth. Where we breathe and speak the idea into being. And now allowing the energy to come all the way up to the third eye, beautiful magenta. Spinning that now. Really opening up the senses, being able to see 360 degrees. And remember, your third eye is deeply connected to your sacral chakra. So the two work hand in hand, same as the solar plexus and the third eye and the solar plexus have a special relationship together. So if you are feeling any blockages in visualizing something, clear out the solar plexus. If you are feeling stuck in negative emotions, try and clear out the third eye. Very powerful when you work the opposite way. And then taking your focus to your crown chakra. Beautiful big lotus. Feeling that spinning like a dinner plate. So now we have this energetic connection with each and every one of our chakras. And as we work through our whole central power channel, I want you to take some nice deep breathing now in through Gaia, all the way up through your Earth Star chakra. Inhale. All the way up to the crown. And exhale, wash it all the way back down, but powerful breaths with intention. Inhale. And exhale, bring the air all the way back down. One more like that. Inhale. And as you do so, final activating breath. And as you exhale, I want you to take your visualization now to the Earth Star chakra. See a beautiful brown ankh that resides there. Bringing your visualization now up to the root, beautiful red ankh, sitting upright, normal state. And then coming up to the sacral chakra, visualize an orange ankh there, 2 fingers below your belly button. And then another ankh in the sacral, in the solar plexus, yellow ankh. And then moving up to your heart, green ankh. Moving up to the throat, royal blue, midnight blue ankh. Third eye, magenta ankh. And then crown, white ankh. If different colors come to you, allow it to be so. So here are your chakras now. Everything is turned on. I'm going to ask for you to breathe now from Gaia all the way up. One more big breath, all the way up through your lower ankhs, up to your higher ankhs, all the way to the cosmos. Pause as you get to the stars. And as you exhale, draw the starlight energy and frequency all the way down through the ankhs, and then pause. You are now going to ask the star mothers to open your being through your ankhs. And you are going to open up to receive transmission, download any messages. Take a moment to pause and maybe ponder on a question or an intention or an idea, or maybe it's just a feeling that you would like to experience. Call on the star mothers now, all of the beings in the universe, multiverse, all around you. Mother Gaia, the elementals, all of them, the fairies, salamanders, and call on every single being that you are very much part of, for you are one of the same. And ask now for any divine guidance to come through. And whether you are aware of it as it comes in, it matters not. Just know that when you receive it, it will be locked in your being and it will be revealed to you later down the line. Have faith and trust that this is so. And now we feel a powerful energy that starts to gather above our heads all the way in the cosmos. First of all, it looks like just very bright stars individually shining. And they start to culminate and come together. So it's like a huge cluster of very, very bright stars. And you can hear the frequency of the vibration like a woo, 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 woo. And as they come together in the cosmos, they become even more collated and collective, just like you with your community and your tribe. And as they come together, you witness the power of all of that star magic ignite to a point that was not possible when they were individual. And as they come together, they make one big mass of cluster of star frequency and energy. And it is powerful. Even your crown's starting to tweak out a little bit because you can feel this. And as this beautiful big ball of energy now starts to come down to meet you just a little, your heart starts to open and your being expands, because now you know there is nothing to do, just open to receive. And this is what happens right now. Then there is an absolute ignition of star codes that start pouring down towards you. This is now where you turn your ankhs simultaneously, every single one up, turn them round upside down now. Every single one of your ankhs now should be in the divine feminine position. And they are, because I can feel the energy really big. And they literally like pouring a beautiful glass of milk straight from the cow from Hathor. They pour this beautiful star magic down through the prana tube, down through your ankhs, which are receiving in divine feminine mode, like you're being filled up like the most beautiful glass of milk yourself, like you are the glass. So allow the codes to come. Feel the energy, the ripples. Feel it fill up all the way down your prana tube, down into the Earth Star chakra. Remember to take it down further enough. And you feel an ignition of every single chakra as it is in its reversed ankh position, divine feminine. Take your time. Now, is there any message or feeling? You may wish to write something down, just allow the energy to come, or just receive it. Just receive it. And as you feel your whole prana tube being filled up because of these ankhs, you can sometimes feel how it spills over and starts to move into your cells. And you start to expand the frequency and energy. And then sometimes you can experience colors. Maybe an ignition of something. I'm going to leave you there for just a little bit longer as the star codes are still pouring. And you will kind of know when it's done, because you may have like a big sigh, one of those. Now the Star Mother Collective now brings this collective cluster of magic and cosmos. They start to draw back the energy and resume back into their places into the sky. Your system knows what to do as your energy field also closes off just a little. And now you take a big deep breath in, and on the exhale, turn your chakras back to normal stance, divine masculine, locking it in, and you'll feel like a ka-dunk, dunk, dunk, dunk. You'll feel that. And make sure every single one of them is in their upright state, and then feel a grounding, an embodiment of what you've just received. I have a bit of a tingle in the feet. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So that is the ankh technology. I'm going to do a million things with that there. So what we're going to do now, as we're still in this sublime energy, we're now going to go into the wolf journey. Okay? And this is going to be a time now where I'm so glad you enjoyed it, Willow. Thank you. Thank you. That's just, do you know what? Meditation's never been so great when I do it with you guys. Usually I'm here on my own and I'm like, that was nice. It's always better in a collective, in a tribe, in a community, you know? Okay, so we're going to go into the journey now All right. And we're going to, like, just before we go into the wolf medicine, let's talk about that a little bit. Okay. So I'm so glad you liked it. I'm just sorting out my very smudged mascara because, like, the sweat's pouring off me. I'm so glad. I'm just looking at your messages. Good. So we're all on the same page. Everyone felt what I was kind of explaining that to that, which is great. And I will bring up that meditation, the Ankh technology, for those that are interested to go back into it, because it's actually quite a cool thing, you know, and you can play with it. And we've all got that kind of like wisdom within us. We just need to unlock it. So now the wolf medicine, this is all about letting go of old habits. Okay. Cooperation versus competition. Don't you love that? Cooperation versus competition, meaning it's not every man for himself. It's now what I do for one, I do for all. Okay. So that is, you're so welcome, guys. So I'm just saying thank you to all the thank yous. So yeah, so basically cooperation and competition, or versus competition, deep inner trust. Okay. So when you're in your wolf pack, you're good to go. Think about that. There's no problem there. Do you know what I mean? Everything is fine. You are protected always, because wolf, as we know, is a huge protector, just like Sekhmet, just like a lion. They are one of the most ultimate. They're predators, they're protectors, they're hunters, they're everything, right? And they're very, very powerful in their medicine. So they are wild in nature. We now need to let our wild women out and our wild men out and just be unapologetically you. You know what I mean? How do you really want to be in the world? I mean, really? I mean, I'm just like, you know, I haven't said anything to anybody yet, but I've signed myself up for DJ school next week. I'm going to go and make music and be a DJ. So that's like, I've always wanted to do that. So my point is, and I'm going to do another video on this, but like, what can you do? This is just me planting seeds. What can you do beyond today? Something that you've always wanted to do just cause. I wanted to learn how to surf. I learned how to surf. I did it. I'm over it now. Now I'm like DJing. I'm like always wanting to know how to DJ. Now I'm going to do it. Might be crap at it, might be not. But you know what? I'm just going to go and do it. Doing something different creates the magic, right? So after we've cleared the debris out today, I'm going to ask you, what are you going to commit to tomorrow, which is going to be something brand new out the box, which is going to make you just really go, yeah, I want to learn how to be a tattoo artist. Let's do that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. So now, clarity on projects. This is what the wolf medicine can help you with, getting clarity on projects. And it's also about communication as well. Think about how wolves communicate. They're communicating all the time. Looks quite aggressive from where we're sat, right? But actually, it's like there's communication going on. That's why a pack will always work so well, because there's lots of moving parts, right? Think about it. Any team that's dysfunctional is a shit show. Any team that's basically energy. I'm going to give you a perfect example before I go into the journey. My son is a pro cricketer, and I've watched many matches, right? And I've seen many cricket matches where it's just been an absolute disaster. And there was one cricket match that my son was a team captain of, and he brought the energy from Zimbabwe, which is how he used to play cricket there, where he focused more on team building, as in focusing on your strengths, and actually connecting with the person rather than getting everybody in the nets and hitting balls. He didn't focus on their God-given talents. He focused on going, you know what, you're really good at bowling. Like, bring that out. Love that thing you do. You good? And then he did that with the next person. Do you know the fielding between that team? I actually cried on the side of the field, because it was like watching poetry. I've never seen a game like that before. And they weren't the most gifted, talented team, but that just goes to show what it's like when you are working with your team, when you're working with your community, when you're working with your tribe. It's just synergistic. It's effortless, and it's fucking cool to watch. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's where we're at. If you're on your own and you're still scared to join the tribe, we need to look at that. You don't understand why. I mean, come join the party, you know? So we are now moving into our final leg. Okay, we're now moving into the meditation and journey. So with this, we're going to be working with the Ankh technology. We're going to be obviously letting go of an awful lot of things. Feel free to open up your eyes a little bit and like take your notes as you go, because you can revisit this recording. What I am going to do is actually, I feel very compelled to do this as a drum journey. So it's going to be a slightly different version of this journey, and it's going to be a little bit of an entry, because this is a proper shamanic journey that we do. If you were here with me now, I'll be drumming you in and everything like that. So I'm actually going to do that pre-recorded. So I'm going to give you something which you can revisit again and again and again. So a drum journey will take you into the underworld again and again and again, which means you can deepen your process with this wolf magic, this wolf medicine, and really go into the depths of finding out why you don't want to join with your tribe, finding out what's going on there, finding out about clarity on projects, finding out about what it is to run with the wolves, what it is to be expressive and not give a shit about what everybody thinks. Do you know what I mean? And just be fearless. So I'm gonna be posting that so you can revisit this time and time again. It's the gift that keeps on giving. So you're gonna now relax in a little bit now, and you're just gonna either lie down, do your thing, be comfortable, and I'm gonna take you in to a journey with Wolf and Grandmother Moon and the Ankh, and maybe anything else that pops in. So get yourself comfortable, guys. This is for you. Open to receive. Okay. So taking a nice big deep breath in once again. And just a gentle exhale, for we're still in that kind of meditative state, so we don't have to work too hard to get there. And then breathing in again, inhale and exhale. And now keep breathing nice and slow to the rhythm that is comfortable to you. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, feeling the belly rise, the chest rise. And as you exhale, feel how the body just lets go. And as you sit here in your seat or lying down, just let your shoulders go. Move your head from side to side. Maybe there's a lot of tension in there you didn't even know that you had. Roll the shoulders a little bit up to the ears and let it go. Squeeze the buttocks as tight as you can. Let it go. And just let the belly hang, the jaw hang. And just be still, man. And in your mind's eye now, you find yourself walking barefoot in a forest. And your feet are walking upon very, very dry forest bed full of oak tree leaves, which have long since changed from what they were when they're on the tree, green and lush. They are brown and they are dry, but they're like a soft carpet beneath your feet. And every step you take is this beautiful crunching sound. And you slowly walk through this magnificent forest, which is just a depth of pine trees, oak trees. It really is the ultimate of a fairy forest to you. And as you look up to the trees and the canopy, you can see that the sun is bellowing through the cracks. And it has this beautiful, like God's fingers, the rays that just are like kind of like landing on the mossy boulders. So really, really feel yourself in that forest, breathing in the smell of the dank soil as well. And as you walk now, you step one by one, getting closer and closer to this one tree. You really, really are zoning in on this one tree. And as you are walking, you notice that your footprints and your sounds of these crunching leaves, you're not alone. And you suddenly look to your side and there is the most beautiful wolf. He's so big. He comes up to your hip. Is he gray? Is he white? Is he black? Does he change color? You know he's pure magic. And you have this sense and feeling like a Game of Thrones moment that this wolf is assigned to you. And as I'm speaking this out loud, it's like he or she can hear my thoughts and he licks you. And you kind of smile. And this is your guardian come best friend. So you both walk together, walking towards the same tree, and you arrive at this huge oak tree. It's massive. It has what I have like call a womb inside of it. Like it's grown in a certain way, and it's like there's a big hole in its trunk. And as you look into the hole, you look at your wolf friend and you're like, this is a sign for an adventure. And without even thinking about it, you both jump through this hole and your journey now begins. Suddenly, you are in the depth of this hole and you are falling faster than you've ever known, pitch black. And as you are falling backwards, you can see the hole that you fell through and you're falling into the underworld faster, faster, faster. But as you are falling, your wolf is nowhere to be seen. But as you are falling, you can feel like all of these identifications of self is like lifting off you. And it's just as the velocity as you fall, it's like one layer, the next layer, like your clothes are flying off. It's like each layer of who you thought you were gone, and another one gone, until you are falling so fast that you're just like, whoa, well, let it all happen. Let all the layers of armor and who I thought I was, let it all go. And you fall, but you have the deepest trust. And you're falling so fast that suddenly you fall into a massive pool, more like a pond or a lake, but you fall so fast that you go down into this water. And as you go down into the depths of this water, you're looking at the surface of the water and it looks like it's miles away from you, but you fear nothing by being in this deep, dark pool. In fact, you will your body to sink a little more. It's surprisingly so. You actually realize you can breathe underwater. And then suddenly you just find yourself floating, sinking, a little bit like a rock, but you're happy for that. And you feel yourself going deeper and deeper until you're just suspended. And as you float there in the darkest waters, you become really comforted about being here. In fact, you just want to stay here. And you keep looking up to the surface of the water where there's little shimmers of light. But down here is beauteous. And in this space, you feel stripped of everything. But there is no state of vulnerability. You do feel vulnerable, but not in a traumatic way. You feel free. You feel weightless. You feel, and this is the divine feminine. This is Gaia's womb. And the mother, she holds you now. And as you float there, you hear her voice. She starts to whisper to you. She starts to bring you message. Take a moment and feel what she has to tell you. What does she speak? You feel so at home here. And then suddenly, as quick as you arrived, you find yourself almost like a force pulling you out the water, and you burst out the water like a dolphin, straight out the water, and you land on the bank like half in, half out. And there's your wolf licking your face, and you're like, whoa, and you're just, what a greeting. He or she is so happy to see you. And you've got no clothes on and you don't care. You're just like, this is wonderful and just freeing. And your wolf is all around you and you climb out the water and then suddenly you look around. Oh my gosh. There isn't just one wolf. There are millions of wolves. You cannot believe your eyes. This is beyond a pack of wolves. There are hundreds upon hundreds of wolves there, and they've surrounded the lake and they've surrounded you, and they are all looking at you. And as you look at them, there is a twinkle in their bright blue eyes and a heart connection between you and they. And you feel this collective, like, you feel so safe. Here you are, stood with no clothes on. You do not feel exposed or unsafe or insecure in any way, shape, or form. You feel primal. You feel alive. You feel like you're part of something. And you haven't felt this for a very, very long time. A very long time. And as you look deeply into the eyes of this tribe, there's like a flicker of in and out. And you see beings that you've been tribe members with before. They go into human form wolf, and there's a flicking between the realms. And it's just like, this is my tribe. It's just that right now we're in a pack. And you are the only human standing. And you take a moment to connect your heart energy with each and every one of them. And it feels like so good. And suddenly, the more you do that, it's like a circuitry that you've just activated. And as you connect with one heart, they suddenly took speed all of their hearts ignited, so did yours. And it's a massive, massive heart connection. It's a heart activation to your tribe, to your wolf pack, to your lion tribe, your lion pride, to your community, to your family. Because it just transcends and changes, because everything's energy. It just takes form in every which way. But tribe is all around you. You were never disconnected. You just thought you were. And as you stand here surrounded by your tribe, pack upon pack upon pack on wolves, suddenly one wolf howls, and you all howl. Even you stood there, and they take off running. And you run, and as soon as you sprint off, you turn into a wolf yourself. You shapeshift straight away. It is nighttime, and the moon is above you. The light is tremendous, and you just run with the wolves, and you're just running faster and faster and faster. You don't know where you're going. You're just with them all, and it just feels so freeing. And every single step and pace you take, you can just feel you're letting go of all of the baggage, and you feel emotional, because you know what? Do you know what you feel more than anything else is free. You feel the freedom of just being able to run. No agenda, no expectation. You just are. You carry on running, and then you're all running until you suddenly hit the highest point on top of this mountain. And you all slam brakes. And you find yourself looking up now, because before you is the biggest grandmother moon. In fact, you've never seen a moon this size, even supermoon. It's never been this big. And you all just stop, and suddenly there is an eerie wolf howl. And then you all follow in unison. Sound frequency emanates through the mountains, through the lands, to the moon. It's like that you're all singing to her. And you just howl, and you howl, and you howl. And something inside of you is awakening your instinct, your animal instinct, your Gaia codes, your entitlement and place to be here on the earth in nature. You're part of it all. This is who you be, with your tribe, with your pack. You're howling and howling and howling, and the energy is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then suddenly you howl, it gets to a point, and you find yourself turning back into physical form now. And the tribe and the pack step back, and you step forward. And Mother Moon stands before you now, grandmother, speaking to you, the divine feminine. And she calls to you now. You hear her straight away. And she says, "Dear heart, sweet one, the wild wolf, it is time for you to let go. You have done this many, many times before. But today, on this wolf moon, in this month of January, that you know to be the new age, this is where you stand before me, naked, reborn, pure and innocent. What is it that you wish for in your life? What is it that you wish for in the future?" Freedom comes to mind. All of a sudden, all the materialistic things, that projects and things, don't seem that important. A life free from anxiety, a life free from fear, a life free from doubt, a life where I feel that I belong, where I'm part of it all. No more loneliness. All of these very primal feelings and things all of a sudden become very important to you. So I ask you now, in your purest form, to maybe either write down what it is that you wish to release, speak it, or think it, or feel it. Either way, it will be so. If you have written in scripture, then you will burn this under the full moon light tonight. Go with what feels good, but speak to Grandmother Moon now, and give to her that which you no longer wish to carry. And now, as you step back and you connect with Grandmother Moon, you start to connect with her symbology. And now, through your hands, you start to create a beautiful golden ankh. As you create the shape of this ankh, you start to bring the light codes from your being, and you start to create this beautiful talisman, this beautiful ankh. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger as you bring your magic, your Heka, your Awan, you bring it forth through the consciousness within you. And you create this huge ankh, and you send it out with both hands to go and meet Grandmother Moon. And your ankh has its own consciousness. It's a living, breathing being. And it finds its way in symbology to the moon. And she allows Grandmother Moon to nestle herself right in the center of the perfect circular part of the ankh. And the arms outstretched hold the moon on the arms, on the shoulders, as it were. And this ankh is now an emanation of the moon. It is now connected. And as you now call in through your own way, you now say, I now receive, I now surrender all that there is. Any energy I have given away or left behind, I call back to myself now. I surrender the old ways that do not serve my purpose any longer. I surrender my preconceptions, my negative belief systems. I surrender the old timeline within me, without me now. And with that, the ankh slowly starts to turn, and she becomes the divine feminine as she reverses her position. And now you're a witness to all of this energy and frequency coming into her, and she emanates it to you because you're one. You're one. So just allow any inspiration or divine message to come to you now. Open your heart. Open your third eye. Even physically open up your arms to receive the Ankh moon energies. And now you visualize yourself becoming that. Everything is one. And then suddenly you sit down and you lie on your back looking at the stars. You have surrendered. And as you lie down, so does all of your wolf pack. And you're lying there, being cleaned, groomed, cuddled even, by all of these wolves that nestle in around you. And suddenly, before you know it, you're not cold, you're covered. You're in the center of 1,000,000 wolves. And they are all just looking after you, supporting you, caring for you. And as you lie there, staring up at the stars, feeling very sleepy in your being, you feel your eyelids slowly shutting, just like a little toddler who's had a long day at the playground. And you curl up and you go to sleep feeling very, very grateful and one and whole. So breathing in all of that medicine now and breathe it out. And I want you to stay in that space. Bring it with you. Nothing is separate. And you will rest there until you're ready to rise. For everything comes to you when you're in still space. Starting to bring yourself back now, all the way into your physical body. I want you to now breathe into your physical reality, into your Earth Star chakra. Take some breaths in there. Ask your Earth Star chakra to bring you back into this present moment. Breathe into your root chakra, anchoring in, grounding your feet into the earth. Visualize yourself standing in soil up to your knees, feeling Gaia like pulling you down, like you've got magnets in your feet. And really coming in and melding those two worlds together, bringing that, because the veil is so thin now. That is your world. I don't really want you to go out and run with wolves naked, because that might actually still mean you might get arrested. We don't do that now. we just want to keep you in that part of the meditation out there, but the rest of it can come with. Bring it in. bring it in. Now, I realize I may not have given you too much time to write and all the rest of it, but I'm going to sign off very shortly because I want you to carry on with the journaling. And of course, if you have written anything, you can then go and burn it tonight, okay, and release it to the ethers. Bear in mind that the full moon and the new moon energies are always very, very potent 3 days before, 3 days after. So you have big windows to work with this magic and medicine, okay? I am so glad. I'm so glad, Lee, that you like that. I love a good shamanic journey. I love it. And I absolutely adore wolf medicine as well. Wolf medicine is just so special to me. It really is. I think it's special to all of us now. So I'm going to pull 3 cards, as I always do, always like to do at the end of the session. Okay. And these cards, by the way, are Ancient Stones by Rebecca Campbell. Kind of cool. Kind of earthy, right? 1, 2, and 3. Okay. There you go. Be the mountain, slow and steady, foundations, patience. So that is what I was talking about here, right? So be the mountain. How beautiful is that? Be that mountain. Okay. Slow and steady, foundations, patience. That is what needs to be navigated. I'm going to be, so much stuff I'm going to be sharing with you guys. Wow. But without turning it into another 2-hour session. I was told by the Great Sphinx that if we corrupt this file, we could set ourselves back. So the stillness and the patience is to allow the upgrades and all of your cells and the integration of all that you've actually just fought for. You've arrived on the new timeline. Be in stillness. Don't get frustrated and go and do, because you're just going to screw things up. So be still, so everything that can find its place within you, the new you, and trust and know that it's working for you. We did it. It's here. Let it all just iron itself out. But stillness is key. And we are not to corrupt the file by doing, because as soon as we do, then we mess it up. Do you know what I mean? So this is about divine feminine and being still. So understand the work gets done there, actually. It's a different way of thinking about it. Hagstone, energy field, protection, inner strength. Okay, so now, not protection as in, I was saying protection like, you don't need protection as in like something bad's going to come at me. But let's read that again. Energy shield, protection, strength. Protection is the wolf, but it's coming from the inner strength. You don't need to basically like physically put an energy shield on, because that blocks field. Yes, let's contain that, right? You don't leak anything, but as far as your inner authority, your sovereignty, your presence, your trust, your faith, that is your protection. If you're part of all the consciousness and you believe that you are of the same consciousness as Yeshua, I believe I am, who are you protecting yourself from God? From Mother, Father, God? Like, what are we doing here? Do you know what I mean? Again, smoke and mirrors and illusion. So the Magstone card, inner strength. So stone goddess, unwavering love and support. And that is maternal line. Well, there she is. She's Gaia. That's what we said was going to be happening here. So unwavering love and support and maternal line, amazing. So that just basically encompassed our whole reading here. Be the mountain, Hagstone, protection and inner strength, stone goddess, unwavering love and support, maternal line. What else do we need to know? Not much, really. So, my darlings, thank you so much for coming online and hanging out with me for a while. It's been a while, hasn't it? And I'm so happy to be back. And and I look forward to seeing you in the temple. Things are changing around here a little bit, so there's different ways to log on to the temple. I will be revealing that with you and giving you all the instructions. But we're going to be working with magic. Magic is something you make, and we're going to be sharing with you. Merlin's going to be in the mix. The Heka gods are going to be in the mix. Alwyn, Ceridwen, that's what we're going to be doing. So when we get to the temple, it's going to be really honing into that magic, because that's the world that we're living in now, the magical world, right? So blessings, my darlings. Thank you so, so much. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I am literally sweating. My makeup is down my cheeks, but hey, whatever. It's all in the name of spirit. Love you, love you, love you. And I will see you on the next one. Peace, my darlings. Peace.